Hello everybody and welcome to Alone at Sea. This is a dark episode that, even if it isn't stated outright, covers some dark topics. And it's definitely extremely important for us to talk about it, since it's probably one of the most important episodes of Season 3 involving Lapis and Jasper.
So, let's talk about Lapis Lazuli, and what a mild disappointment I found her to be near the beginning. Up until Season 3, we never really got to see much of Lapis, but after being unfused from Jasper in Super Watermelon Island, she was finally given her own episode to shine, Same Old World. Clearly, this was meant to be something special, a chance for us to finally get to know Lapis in a whole new way. And to do this, they came up with all sorts of intriguing new facts about Lapis, like...
I don't belong on Earth.
Okay, we found that out about her in Ocean Gem.
After what I did to Jasper, I can't go back to Homeworld.
Alright, we probably could have inferred that.
If you lived here, you could get a cool apartment. You'd have a fun job at a local coffee shop and come home to a wacky roommate.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And she doesn't know about Earth stuff, like pretty much every other gem that came down to Earth. This is not nearly as insightful as I was expecting. I mean, we do get to see Lapis's backstory, but while it is sad, I wouldn't call it shocking or anything. She appeared again in Barnmates, but that was more of a Peridot episode, and aside from Lapis not liking water because it reminds her of Malachite, we don't learn much else about her. And after saying less than 10 words and hit the diamond, she was gone. Until now.
So Steven brings Lapis out onto the boating dock, where he reveals to her that him and his dad have rented a boat so they can go out into the ocean. Lapis also gets introduced to Greg, and he introduces himself in the weirdest way.
Greg Universe, you broke my leg trying to use the ocean to fly back to your homeworld?
Why would you introduce yourself like that? No! Anyway, Lapis, although being a little nervous about the whole going out into the ocean idea, she loosens up a bit and decides to give it a try.
Lapis says that she doesn't deserve this, which is not a sentiment she seemed to express in any episode before this, so Lapis has a guilt complex. That actually isn't something we've been given any hints of before this episode. Already we're off to a great start.
You two ready to set sail?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh! Thank you, Rebecca Sugar, for drawing that! Anyway, there's a short montage of Steven and Lapis doing fun things together on the ship, including repeatedly honking the horn. After they finish with the horn, they go over to Greg, who's fishing, and he shows Lapis how to fish.
Eventually, it looks like the group manages to catch a fish, only this one seems almost impossible to pull up, and Lapis freaks out while pulling on the rod.
I mean, you would freak out too if you saw a big blob at the bottom of your hook.
You did a great job tangling with that beast.
Wait, Beast? Are you sure you aren't thinking of another Cartoon Network show? Another show with beasts and monsters as focal points? 'Cause I sure am. That's right. This little line of dialogue is reminding me of Teen Titans Go! Ugh, monstrosity.
So here's when things start to go wrong with the boat. The engine busts and everything starts shaking. Lapis starts having a breakdown about Jasper too, worrying Steven.
She says that, despite not enjoying being Malachite, she actually misses Jasper on some level. A revelation which is actually very shocking. Yeah, this is where the episode gets dark.
And at the climax of that dark conversation, that seems to be about abusive relationships, guess what? Up the anchor climbs Jasper, the very gem in question.
I thought I was a brute, but you're a monster.
And thoughts like this could have been what led to Lapis's inferiority complex.
I was wrong about fusion. You made me understand.
Okay, so I'd like to retract what I said about Jasper's relationship with Fusion back in the Super Watermelon Island and Gem Drill review. After rewatching the scene with Jasper fusing with Lapis, I've actually found I have a different interpretation as to why it was that she decided to fuse. So right before Jasper and Lapis decided to fuse, she says,
You only beat me because you're a fusion. If I had someone to fuse with, I'd...
This makes me think that the actual reason Jasper wanted to fuse was so that she could use it as a weird form of gloating. Like, she was going to become Malachite, and then she'd wipe out the crystal gems in one blow as a way of saying, look, see how easy it is to win when you're a fusion? You're not so special now, huh? Ha ha. Of course, then Jasper got a chance to actually fight as Malachite and realized how actually amazing it feels. This interpretation actually does make sense, especially considering how petty and self-centered Jasper actually is.
So, Jasper, after failing to convince Lapis to refuse with her, gets punched off the deck of the ship and away. Literally. It's like watching Team Rocket blasting off again! And this is actually where some of the annoyance in the fandom popped up, since people wanted Jasper to be on screen for more than 30 seconds and not be blasted off again over and over. She just needed to have a more major role in the episodes. People wanted to see more Jasper, and long story short, when they got more Jasper, boy howdy were they regretting it. You'll see that in a later episode though.
So for now, I'm just going to say, hi Jasper, bye Jasper, we'll see you later, I guess, again.
Lol, bye.
What?
Oh, Lapis, you couldn't have just raised your water fist from the side of the boat instead of from the middle?
Lapis doesn't really understand Earth customs and Earth things. She probably didn't get that it would be a bad thing to punch a hole in the middle of a boat. And if she did know, well then... she wrecked Greg!
Despite what I may have said towards the beginning of this video, I should make it clear that I don't dislike Same Old World and Barnmates. They're not amazing, and I am a little disappointed by them, but they have enough cute moments to still be okay in my book. But this episode is the first truly satisfying appearance from Lapis. We actually learned something surprising about her that isn't easy to infer or figure out, and though it wound up getting dark halfway through, the first half had enough light and silly moments to keep it from being too heavy. I give it a 4.3 out of 5.
I enjoyed this episode. 1, because it revealed more about Lapis. 2, covered topics that not every cartoon show is willing to cover. And 3, because it was so well carried out, and the art in it is just so great because Rebecca Sugar boarded it. And all around, this episode is just really important to a lot of the characters' development and just really important in general. I give it a 4.6 out of 5. So thank you one all for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one. Bye!